Hello there everybody, welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John, and today we're going to look at some Artsaber stuff. I have been an Artsabers fan for a while, but today we're going to take a look at a set of lightsabers, and I want to send a huge thank you over to Artsabers for sending me over these lightsabers to unbox and review and take a look at these bad boys from one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars. Roll that intro. Alright, we have the Ahsoka Tano Lightsabers. Look at that. This thing is gorgeous. However, super shiny. So these things are going to be fingerprint magnets. You could probably, if you wanted to, dismantle these a little bit and take some sandpaper and get that gloss off. But if you're just going to use these a little bit and pop them on your shelf, they are sexy. Look at that. Now, they did give us the accuracy of both lightsabers, little guy and big guy. Look at that. By the way, this is like the cutest lightsaber ever. Like, look at this on my hand. It's just adorable. I love this thing. So these are Neopixel lightsabers. And let's pull up their website so I can give you a couple of details about what these things are offering. All right, pulling up the website here, we can just go into the description, and we've got the Neopixel information here. Let's see, we've got 20 custom sound fonts, Neopixel soundboard. We have a 2 to 3 watt speaker, flash on clash, blaster deflex and lockups. Very perfect smooth swing. Metal hilts, yes, they are not plastic. They are solid metal. They're incredible. Then we've got the Neopixel blades, the chargers, the batteries and everything like that. All right, so let's dig into this and we will actually show you everything we got here. So we've got both, pull these both out. We've got both blades, both accurate sizes, small and little, because she did have those two different size blades in Clone Wars. And I love these sabers. Like, look at these hilts. They're so different from every other hilt out there. You know, these little slices down the side here. I do wish these were the buttons. These aren't, that's not the button here. This is the actual button with the charging port right there. As some of you may know, this is my favorite. Just to plug it right in. I know it's not screen accurate, but it's just so easy. And this one is very easy. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you how to get to the battery and recharging of the small one, because it's not as easy as this one. It's not hard, but it's a little bit of work, and I want to walk you through that because you do have to dismantle pretty much this whole thing. All right, what else we got here? We've got 2 Neopixel blades, one for each. We've got the larger one. Let me get these out here. Just as accurate to the show. We've got the larger and we've got a shorter blade. You can see the difference in length there. These are lined up at the bottom. You can see how much different that is. That looks like, I don't know, maybe 5 inches difference. 2 blade plugs. The hex wrenches. We've got some more screws, and we've got like the retention screws and the Allen wrenches. We've got the USB. Then we've got 2 different charging ports here. So this one is for the larger one, because that gets plugged right in. And this one you'll see is a USB-C port here, which is going to plug directly into the soundboard area, right into the chassis, which is wired right in. So we're going to have to show you that because we have to pull the whole thing apart. Then we've got 2 stands, which are awesome. Nice acrylic stands. We've got the instruction manuals, and of course we've got CoverTech clips. So let me just pull out one of these so I can show you that. We've got the CoverTech clips there. So these are great. They go right onto your belt. See the belt plug there, and then these guys go right in there. So simple, so easy. I love those things. Now, I will mainly give a demonstration on one of these because every setting and everything is going to be exactly the same, and then we'll take apart the smaller one so I can show you how to actually get to the battery. All right, so power on this one right here. And the power on this one is right here. So you can see that there are two different sections to put the power on. So we got the big one and we've got the little one. So I'm not going to be able to swing both of these around in here in the studio because it's just really small. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use probably the bigger one as mostly for the demonstration, but it will kind of translate exactly to this. So let's get started on that. So one of the big differences I want to show you right up front, you'll notice that the bigger one here on the left has the circle with the ring. Now that's kind of important for all of the changing because everything is based off of timing and flashes. Now the problem with the smaller one is that this is just a button. So you're going to have to count. So for an example on that, volume up and down is 3 settings. It's volume high, volume low, and mute. All right, so you're gonna have to kind of hold this button and count in your head to 1. So ready? Here we go. 1.
Volume low.
1.
Mute.
1.
Volume high.
All right. So that's how you're gonna have to do everything on the smaller saber. So on this one, you'll see we have the red here. So 1 flash.
Volume low.
1 flash.
Volume high.
1 flash. So it's so much easier, which is another reason why I like the ones with the button on the outside, because every setting is based on timing. And when you can visually see it, it's a lot easier. When you've got to count in your head, kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. But trust me, it gets kind of like second nature because you're like, oh, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, for all the different settings. And there are blade settings, there are ignition settings. So it's really cool to kind of dig into this thing. Now you have a couple of options of turning them on and off as well. So they're called gesture controls. You could just give a twist. You give a twist on. All right, you can hold the button for 3 seconds and it'll turn off. Or you can even give a stab. So, tons of fun. All right, love these things. So we've got a beautiful, beautiful smooth swing. Very perfect smooth swing. We've got the blaster effect, so all you gotta do is push the button. All right, then we've got lockup, as if 2 lightsabers were clashing together. So for that, all you're gonna do is push the button and give a little bit of a hit. Push and hit. You see it lighting up white right here. And then just let go. Then we've got a tip drag. You're basically just gonna hold this upside down and hold the button for 1 second. You can see that the tip is glowing white. And then just push the stop. Isn't that cool? These things are a ton of fun to play with. So let's go into the next thing, which are blade styles. So how we do that is that we're gonna hold our little trigger here for 2 seconds, 2 flashes.
Pulse.
So now what pulse is usually what I leave the blade on. You'll see it kind of breathe in and out, and I'll put it up against my shirt so you can try to see that. So you can kind of, it's going bright, dark, bright, dark. It's just kind of breathing like a regular lightsaber would. You see that? And you can see the light just breathing in and out, just like a regular lightsaber would. So we're just gonna go here again. 2 flashes for the next blade style. 1, 2.
Blaster blade.
All right, blaster blade is kind of cool. Now you're gonna think that the lightsaber's off, but it's not. So you're gonna turn it on and then you're gonna hit the button and it's gonna look like a blaster. Next one, let's go 2 flashes again and see what else we got. 1, 2.
Rainbow blade.
I know a lot of people like the rainbow blade, so that's super fun. Two flashes. 1, 2.
Candy blade.
Candy blade. Very similar blade, but they're very small pockets of color rather than the nice faded color that goes from the rainbow blades.
Cracked blade.
So there's a cracked blade. You'll see it's a solid color. It's actually very hard to see, so let me down the exposure a little bit. So you'll see a little bit better like that. More of a blue, and you got the little speckles of white kind of shining through.
Fire blade.
Fire blade. Now these are really cool for like Kylo Ren. All right, so we have this other one called Ghost Blade, which I'm not a fan of. But when you turn it on, it's gonna look like it's completely off. And it only reacts to your movements. So when you're completely steady, it's off. And then you move and it glows on. All right, here are some of the ignitions. This one's called Broken. I love that one. Stack. It's funny. 1, 2, 3.
Photon ignition.
Photon. Next. 1, 2, 3.
Warp ignition.
Warp. That's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3.
Phaser ignition.
One, 2, 3.
Scavenger ignition.
So Scavenger, I believe, is like the ignition from Rey's lightsaber. It should spark green here first. Let's see.
Hunter ignition.
Hunter. All right, and for those of you early Ahsoka Tano fans, you'll know that in the first, what was it, I think the first 3 seasons, she had one lightsaber with a green blade. So if you want a green blade, super easy because you could just get in there, swap the colors out into any color you really want. And how you're gonna do that is you're going to take the lightsaber, gonna turn it on. There's 2 different ways to do it. Okay, 1, 2. Right, you're gonna hold that for 2 flashes, and it's gonna cycle very slowly through the colors. So we're in whites, going into a purple, into the blues, into the more of the whites and cyans. But now if you want to kind of bounce from color to color much faster, you can bounce through all of these solid colors, red, blue, yellow, green, and all you're going to do is hold and twist, all right? Here we go. Yellow, orange, purple, white, whiter, green, cyan, red, more purple, blues, different purples. So you can kind of get to all of those major like prime kind of colors without having to kind of wait so it resolves through every color, which is really cool. So we can set up and get her into her green blade. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to kind of scroll through the sound fonts. There's 2 different ways that at least I know of. One way of going forward would be holding the button until it just changes, which is like about 3.5 flashes or something like that. The other way is holding it upside down and giving a twist. So let's show you both ways right now. So this one will be holding the button, and you'll see that I'm not even going to really pay attention to the flashes. It's just going to automatically change.
Luke Skywalker.
All right, Luke Skywalker. You'll notice the beautiful, beautiful smooth swing on that. Very perfect smooth swing. So the button was to go forward. Now, to go the other way, we're going to flip it upside down and give a twist.
Final steps.
Rey Skywalker.
The greatest teacher failure is. Ascension. Vader can't stop me now. Nothing. You want this?
Sword.
I'm Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. Let's keep going.
Darkness.
So uncivilized.
Obi-Wan. Always taking out lights. So you can see there's a lot of fonts, a lot of sounds, a lot of styles to kind of fiddle around with.
Whispers of power. The teacher, the second, the learner, the Dark Lord revisited, the champion, serenity, idol, hatred, dark ages, cyber terror, codex of light.
Luke Skywalker.
Now, another cool thing about them, which I'm not going to really play very much of, just for copyright reasons, but they do have audio tracks on here too. So you just take the saber and you kind of twist to the right. Really cool. And I'm not sure if every font
Who else
has...
could do what I've done? Who else would have the strength to come this far? I am Revan, and I will complete the work I started so long ago.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of audio files on here which are awesome to kind of fiddle through a little bit. All right, let me get into this detail here with charging these things. One is super, super easy. Charging port is right there. And you just take the charger, ploop, pop that right in, pop it right into the wall, or any USB outlet that's around you. Now, the other one, this is a little trickier. This whole thing has to be pulled apart, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's probably the most difficult thing about this saber. So let me get into this, because if you do wind up getting this, you're gonna have to be okay with ripping this thing apart. So here we have all of these little screws here. This has to come off. This little button here has to come off. We have to untighten that, take that off, and this comes off here. And then the pommel also comes off. All right, so let's start with one thing at a time. It's pretty easy, but you know, it takes a few minutes to actually do, and you might be a little uneasy with having to rip this whole thing apart to get to it, but you do it once or twice. It's super simple. All right, so let's take this out. I'm just gonna leave everything right here, right in front of me. So that's that part here. This, you just kind of get in there, unscrew a little bit, and it'll come right off. All right, then we're gonna take this off here. Whoop. All right, that loosens all that up there. Then we're gonna pull this off. Okay. And then now the chassis is completely loose in there, just kind of sitting free. Now what we're gonna wanna do is take the pommel off here. And we're gonna slide that chassis right out. All right. So that's pretty much it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just a little bit annoying to do, but it's totally worth it because these sabers are beautiful. Now the charging port right here, it's a USB-C. You can see that comes with it, and just pop that guy right in there, and into a USB charging port, your computer, or I have a whole slew of USB chargers right here next to me. And that's pretty much it. So when that's all done charging, you're gonna wanna take that back out, and there we have it. Now, you're gonna have to pay attention because you're gonna have to line up the activation button with the activation button here, okay? So we have, you can see here, we have the activation button here, the hole for it, all right? Now we've got the activation switch right here. So we're gonna have to slide that in and line that up, okay? All right, there we go, I can see that. Now, let me put this in here, just so I know that we're kind of in there. All right, and then we're just gonna start putting everything back in. It's reasonably simple. I do wish that this just had a port that you just slip it right into. However, it does not. So you just gotta do what you gotta do if you really want this. Hit that there. Right. Now this kind of twists around a little bit here and there, so you want to make sure that you have the little screw, the retention screw, lined up in a way that you can actually access. All right. So now let's put this little side screw in there, which holds that in. All right. That should be pretty good there. Okay, then last we've got the pommel on top of the speaker. Always be careful because you do have an exposed speaker here. All right, put a blade in. So pretty simple. Works perfect. Just take your time with something like that because you don't want to screw anything up. It is pretty simple. You do it once or twice and it's super easy. All right, my friends, that is about it. These are the Ahsoka Tano Lightsabers from Artsabers. Again, a huge thank you to Artsabers for sending these over for all of us to take a look at. I really appreciate it. And what do you think? Drop down below, leave some comments, let me know what you think. I'm always hanging down in the comments and I answer everybody the best I can. But let me know what you think about these Ahsoka Tano Lightsabers. I'll put the link down below in the description so you guys can check them all out. And while you're down there, give this video a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe and hit notification buttons for all the upcoming videos. And until I see you guys again on the next video, may the Force be with you. Be safe and kind out there in the world. Take it easy.